Welcome to the WJBM Outdoor Show, brought to you by Midwest Tractor Sales in Jerseyville. We're coming to you from the WJBM studios in Jerseyville, the voice of the Tri-Counties. I'm Aaron Quillen. I operate Monarch Rivers, where the mission is simple: kill big deer. Joining us today, we have the head nut of the Squirrel Bowl, Jerod Cottingham. Jerod, thanks for coming, man.
Oh, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So just in brief meeting you before you got here, you are passionate about helping people.
Very. Yep.
I mean, that stands out big time. And, a few different organizations that you work with. But how did you get involved with this Squirrel Bowl?
Well, first off, I brought you a gift. So if you want to, so I brought you a koozie and a cup from our
thank you,
from our Squirrel Bowl 11. So
that's awesome.
Little gift for you. So
appreciate it.
It is a long story, but it's a pretty cool story. It's a journey. It started. We just had our 11th Squirrel Bowl. So It started back in 2016. But if you really think about it, for me, I don't know how you started hunting, but my earliest memories of hunting, I'm like you, a big deer hunter and hunt everything I can, but it all started with squirrel hunting with my dad back in the day. That's where it all started, so 2016 was the first Squirrel Bowl as a fundraiser. But years before that, for about 3 years, I did just a fun squirrel hunt, something to do. It gets to be that. Back then I didn't do any kind of waterfowl hunting or anything like that. But it comes around February and stuff, and deer season's over, and you kind of get the winter blues. So
yeah, I
just came up with an idea like, let's just have some buddies over and cook food and have a squirrel hunt, and while abiding by all the laws and stuff like that. But let's have a little friendly competition and get together and we did it for 2 or 3 years, and then I stopped it. But then everybody every year they just kept asking me, when are we going to do that? And when are we going to do it again? And then 2016 is when it kind of hit me to. I guess 2015 is when I decided. I was like, let's do another one, but let's do it different. Let's see if we can make it a fundraiser. At that time, not knowing what the money would even go to, even if we made any money.
Right.
We had no idea. We had no idea if we'd make any money or not. So it was, I'll never forget, we were in a cabin I had a little cabin on Lake Reniker near Carlinville, and it was me and about 5-6 of my best friends. And told them my idea, pitched my idea, and they were like, yeah, I'll help. I'll get behind that, And I had in my mind a few different charities and that they can go to. But again, we didn't know how we were going to raise money. We didn't know if we would raise any money. And we kind of went around the room, and everybody kind of had different ideas and this and that. And then that's when I kind of stopped and I said, hey, let me tell you about this one other organization that I now know about. So I work at Carlinville Area Hospital, and I have for 20 years as of last week. And It was around 2016 time or 2015 or so where I saw a group of people in the cafeteria. One being Tanya Kessinger, who's on my committee. She's a board member of Squirrel Bowl, but she's also on the board of Project Third Day. And I was like, "What are you guys doing?" And they had an assembly line with their kids, and it's Project Third Day started with 4 couples that started doing this out of their own pocket. Mm-hmm. But for several years, they've been kind of secretly helping out kids in the Carlinville School District. They're helping 31 kids at the time. And I saw them packing these food bags, and I was like, tell me more, what is this, So, and basically what it was is, they learned that there's a lot of kids that the only time they eat was when they're at school. And, so they did a little study through the school district themselves, and they identified these 31 kids or so that they would that they were starting to help discreetly. They were doing food bags. So when they had so that's where the name Project Third Day comes. It's kind of twofold, and that's also the third day when Christ, rose. So, so that's how they got their name. And so they were dropping off bags of food in these kids' backpack on those 3-day weekends, because they knew they had one extra day that they had to go without eating. So I was like, that's a pretty cool concept. So go back to that room in my cabin that night. I brought that idea up, and the guys, it was unanimous. We're we're going to feed kids. Heck yeah, we're all in. So we did a squirrel hunt and did it at Lake Reniker. Not the hunt itself, but that's where we had a registration night on Friday night.
Okay.
And then I think we had around 25 teams of two-person teams. So we had 50 guys that showed up, and I had some helpers and stuff there, but went out, they did their thing. I still have never hunted in Squirrel Bowl because I'm always running it. But
Right.
Went out, did their thing. Everybody had a good time. Hung around afterwards on Saturday. We hunt on Saturday mornings, and then we have a weigh-in at 1:00.
Okay.
So they all came back, and everybody just kind of hung out. We had food and this and that. And I had said that if this is in January, I'd said that if I raised $1,000, I would jump in the lake. Well, we raised $1,400, so needless to say, I had to jump in the lake. But that was year one. Raising $1,400, and we were pretty proud of that. So we ended up giving $1,000 to Project Third Day, and ended up giving $400 to a family who's it's the Eagle Hawk family who I was talking to you a little bit earlier about, because they had a daughter that ended up having to have a liver transplant and stuff. So
oh wow,
so that was like first experience for me, like truly giving back.
Yeah,
and it became an addiction to me personally after that. But that was 11 years ago. I won't tell you quite yet, but what we did this year. But I will tell you, last year we raised $211,000. So
wow,
in 10 years' time, we went from $1,400 to $211,000. Doing this, and during that time, most of that money always went to Project Third Day.
Okay,
but every year it just got bigger. It got bigger. It got bigger, and it was all word of mouth.
Yeah,
I mean, for the most part, we had the private Facebook page, but it blew up. It absolutely blew up. So, yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Doing God's work.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Squirrel Bowl starts 50 the first year. Mm-hmm. How many participants this year?
So this year is kind of so what's interesting about Squirrel Bowl, it's changed a lot, and we've changed a lot through Squirrel Bowl. I'm a completely different person than I was 11 years ago. I'm focused on, but it's become such an event. It's less about the hunt and it's more about the event. But, a couple of years ago, we hit almost 300 teams.
Wow.
I think last year was like 280. This year, the teams were down, but this is also the coldest year we've ever had.
Right.
So it wasn't that those guys weren't there. They just I'm not going hunting. But I know I'm not going out hunting when it's 0 degrees. It's going to be windy, and it was cold this year.
Yeah, and
those guys all know through the history. Like the first few years of Squirrel Bowl, it was like crazy. It was like 70 degrees, and we were just smashing squirrels. And everybody was getting their limit,
Right.
Well, then it seems like it's gotten colder every year. It's like every year it's gotten colder, and then the squirrels are just like us. We don't like to go outside, and neither do they. Right. So there's a lot of people that come back empty-handed. In fact, this year we had around, I think it was like 147 teams or something, or maybe 187. I can't remember the exact number. I really don't have anything to do with the squirrel hunt anymore.
Okay,
I mean, it's there on the premise, but it's like two separate things, and I'm always concentrating on the event and the ceremony and all that stuff. But only 37 teams checked in at the weigh-in. That means that's how few squirrels were killed this year because of the conditions. But
yeah, it's cold outside when you go deer hunting and you don't see a squirrel.
I know. Yeah. And that's always the joke every year is like, most of the people in that room are all deer hunters, and they go out there and what do you see? You see hundreds and hundreds of squirrels, and when you're deer hunting, when you go out there squirrel hunting, you see none. So
right,
yep.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about the squirrel hunt first. I know it's about way more than that, but so a team of 2.
Yep.
Then you have a weigh-in, which consists of.
So we have 2 divisions. We have an adult division. It's all 2-person teams.
Yep.
We have an adult division, and then we have an adult youth division where an adult goes with somebody 16 and under.
Okay.
So we have 2 divisions, and we abide by all DNR rules and that kind of thing. And so each person can get five squirrels. So if you get your 10, then you weigh. So that we didn't even think about the weigh-in real aspect of it like the first year because we didn't we didn't know everybody would get where people would get their limit, and they did. And then we're like, hey, we got to do this by weight, not by not by number of squirrels, because we can't, you can only kill five a piece. So we got to stay legal. And at that time too, we had a lot of backing from DNR and stuff. At that time, Wayne Rosenthal was the DNR director, and he's a friend of all of ours and all that kind of thing. And so we wanted to make sure that we did everything on the up and up. And it's still one of our, we try to make sure that everyone knows that, don't be fooling around. Don't give us a black eye. But but like I said, everybody's there for right reasons, and it's just, and it's at the end of the day, it's still kind of a friendly competition. It's not real competitive. I mean, it's not like, we don't give out. We have trophies made by one of my committee members. He makes these trophies, and they're pretty awesome. They change every year. They kind of go along with our logo. Each year. But we're not getting cash. They're not getting cash prizes or anything like that. And so it's all for fun.
Yeah.
But there are some bragging rights. I mean, you see a lot of the same names up towards the leaderboard every year. These are diehards that, when I love that aspect of it. I love that, for me, the events come so much more than a squirrel hunt. But I love that there's guys there that they can't wait to get out. They can't wait for that sun to come up on Saturday morning and get out there and squirrel hunt. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Pretty awesome.
So everyone that's there, you mentioned even individuals coming from Bloomington. It's probably spread pretty far.
Yeah. We have a lot of people show up from. I mean, we have them from. Well, now with the veteran aspect of it, I got them coming from all over the country.
That's amazing.
But we got people from Missouri and St. Louis, and then Lake the Ozarks, and in Bloomington area, Peoria area, and way up north, Springfield area and stuff. So. Yeah.
Anyone with some squirrel ground to hunt.
Oh, yeah. And that's it. The people that come hunt, they go hunt where they have permission to hunt.
Yeah.
That was always the big question. Everybody's like, how do you put that many people squirrel hunting the same? No, they go to where they squirrel hunt and they come back to the weigh-in, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit more. This is grown into more organizations.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how that happened.
Okay. So, well, I mean, to be honest with you, that first year we raised around 1,400. The next year was 10,000. Then the year after that was like, we're up in 30,000. Like, it went quick because just the amount of people that were showing up. Well, we got to the point around year 5 or so that, we were giving Project Third Day more money than what they needed. Essentially, because at that time they were still just doing the carnival thing. Now that has changed, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But they're helping a lot more than that now. So then I was like, you know what? My dad's a veteran, Vietnam vet, and he and I went on the honor flight. I took him on the honor flight. I was his chaperone, whatever you call it there, and then. So we invited them for several years, and they came and we gave them some money for Land of Lincoln honor flight. But then Tanya Kessinger, who I mentioned earlier, she said, hey, I went to college. Her and I went to the same college, but we didn't know each other. So she said, I went to college with a guy, but I saw that he's started some kind of veteran, a wounded veteran thing around Bloomington. We should just reach out to him. So her and I got on the phone, called them, and just out of the blue said, hey, you're the kind of organization we want to help. Would you be interested in coming to our squirrel hunt? They probably thought, like, do what? They're like, yeah, but they did. They came down not knowing us at all. They came down and, they brought some of their track chairs and stuff that they do for their hunt. Because their hunt, it's called Hua Deer Hunt for Heroes.
Okay.
And they put on a week-long hunt in the very beginning of November each year. It's a crossbow hunt. Okay. That's how they got started. Well, now, just like Squirrel Bowl, they've blown up. They've gotten a lot of support, and now they have a whole fishing series too. They do a whole bunch of different fishing retreats for veterans and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. So we got contact with them. They come down, and then they're some of my best friends on earth right now because it was meant to be. Yeah. It was a God thing, in my opinion. They were supposed to be there, and became dear friends with them. So they've been every year. So then every year we've been able to give them a little more as the years have gone by. We've been able to give them more, and then it morphed into the Seth Eaglehoff turkey hunt we're doing now as well, but then we're doing that in Macoupin County. And I started that with help of HUA because they still handle all the, it's still through their organization. They do the vetting, they find the vets, and then they pay for the vets to fly in, drive in, whatever.
Okay.
Pay for everything. So, yeah. So that's where they come into play. And then around, this is my 5th year. I got asked to be a guide at the sow hunt that started in Macoupin County. Now, Sow's Special Operations Wounded Warriors.
Okay.
And Bruce Barnes at his location, Bruce Barnes, Bob Sons, kind of started this hunt in Macoupin, and they asked me to be a guide. And I was like, well, absolutely. This is awesome. Well, that year they asked me, who also asked me to come up and be a guide at their hunt, and I got to experience camp with, you get to literally see where your money's going. Yeah. And it was awesome. So then I guided for sow, and then I was hooked. Okay. Then I was hooked. I was like, I wanted this, deer hunting, everything all changed for me at that point, because like I wanted to help these vets. I wanted to help kids, get them out in the outdoors and do all that. And man, when you're with a vet and a wounded vet and they get a bird, or even if they don't, just sharing camp with them, it's unbelievable. So, but yeah, so then we started the 3 years ago, our 3rd one's coming up, the Seth Eaglehoff Memorial HUA turkey hunt. Okay. So that's in 3rd season Macoupin, and yeah, we have 10 vets coming this year. Wow. And so I have 2 guides per vet. Okay. And these are all buddies of mine, but it's kind of awesome how this all played out because they're all friends of mine, but a lot of them didn't know each other. But in just a small amount of time now, they're all dear friends. I mean, when you share camp with these heroes and everybody gets together, and the cool thing about that turkey hunt is seeing all these, there's nothing competitive about us as guides. We're wanting every one of them to. First year we went 7 for 7, so we were like, oh, let's go. So last year I had 9 guys. I had 9 vets come, and we were 8 for 9. The last guy right at the last second, or the last 15, 20 minutes, he got a shot, but he missed. So so we almost went 9 for 9. But to see these guides help each other, like, okay, my guys killed a bird, we have more birds. Drive over here. I mean, it's we all stay in Macoupin County, but we'll travel around. We'll do our best to get these guys birds. Awesome. So and a lot of these veterans are a lot of it's like TBI and TBI injury and things like that. But this TBI, year, like the traumatic brain. Stuff, yeah. A lot of their PTSD, that kind of stuff. It doesn't always have to be a visible. But they are disabled veterans. But this year, who decided they're going to test us. We got a couple paralyzed gentlemen coming, which we're excited about. We're so excited to have them in camp, and just to kind of challenge ourselves a little more to get it done, and that'll mean that much more, to get that done for them. So pretty awesome. Yeah.
When with the track chair, one thing that I've found is sometimes it's better not having the blind.
Really?
Yeah. So sometimes the blind, if you don't set it, if you don't set the blind out fast enough, and I guess this is more applicable to deer than turkey, but if you don't get the blind out in advance, for at least the deer to get used to it, sometimes you're better off without the blind. So they do the deer hunt, and they have blinds and they have stands and all that kind of stuff. So but the turkey hunt, everything's accessible.
The turkey hunt, we put them where we think they're going to get a kill. Yeah, and we know how turkey hunting is. You can put a blind up, and the next day you can kill one. So nice. Yeah.
So that's awesome. Third day.
Yep. Project Third
Day. And then we got HUA. We got Sow. And all these organizations have come together under Squirrel Bowl.
Well, they've started themselves, but we've kind of pulled them in because they fit underneath our mission statement of organizations to help. So so we're helping to improve their hunts, and their reach by funding them.
So Squirrel Bowl is funding to 3 different organizations.
Yeah, well, actually, quite a bit more than that. Because
really,
part of our mission statement too is to help out, is to introduce kids to hunting in the outdoors, and so we support shooting programs. So I used to be the head coach I was for 3 years head coach of Carnival Clay Busters, and we help that organization out because I think you'll agree. I think those programs are very important. For these kids, gun handling and and that kind of thing, and it builds character, and I think it's very important. And we also help out. This year we helped out something called Royal Family Kids Camp, which is a not-for-profit that does a week-long camp for foster kids. I got involved this year helping there, and that's another life-changing experience when you see what these kids, the sparkle in their eye when they leave that camp, that kind of thing. And then we help out Gold Star Missions too. We help them out this year. They they do a 500-mile bike ride each year, in honor of a fallen soldier. And then the money that they raise, they give scholarships to kids throughout throughout Illinois. Well, I think it's a United States thing, but this particular chapter gives in Illinois kids college scholarships, and we kind of spread it around as long as it falls in within our mission statement.
Yes.
So yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick break, hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the WJBM Outdoor Show, brought to you by Midwest Tractor Sales in Jerseyville. We're coming to you from the WJBM studios in Jerseyville, the voice of the Tri-Counties. I'm Aaron Quillen. I operate Monarch Rivers, where the mission is simple: kill big deer. For those of you just joining, head nut Jerod Cottingham of the Squirrel Bowl. And we were just talking about all of the different organizations that Squirrel Bowl is able to help fund through this successful program. After 11 years, you just listed earlier like 7 different organizations that you're funding and supporting, and that's incredible.
Yeah. It is incredible. It's just, that's a testament to the kind of people that come to our event and the number of people that come to our event. They believe in what we do. We keep the money pretty much local, and we know where every dime goes, and people get behind it. But when you're dealing with helping kids in need, and you're helping wounded vets and stuff like that, it's pretty easy to get in your wallet.
Yeah, absolutely. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And I had heard of Squirrel Bowl. I didn't know, to the extent that the thing that I hear the most is how much fun it is tons of people there.
Tons.
And like there's vendors setting up and, promotion, Brad Graham, the different realtors, like all these guys. And I don't even know to the extent, but everybody talks about what a big fun event it is.
Yeah, it is fun.
So what's the atmosphere like?
I get like people who've never been there before. They'll ask me, well, what day should I come, Friday or Saturday? And my answer is always, you should come both days, because it's really 2 different events. So Friday. So this year it was on the last 2 days of January. Now this next year, we can talk about that a little bit, but it's actually February 5th and 6th. We always do it the weekend before Super Bowl. That's how it got its name.
Okay.
So when we first started, let's do it the weekend before Super Bowl every year, and that's when that would fall this next year. But it's 2 different events. Friday night starts at 5:00. It's our registration. That's where people come. Now we do online registration. Now we've evolved a little bit, but we also you can register in person.
Okay.
You come in. So for instance, we're at the Bates Building at the Macoupin County Fairgrounds. But it can't hold us all. So this year we rented a 40 by 100 tent.
Oh, wow.
Heated tent. So, but you come in, register, and then it's just kind of like it's almost kind of got like a carnival vibe to it, because we have vendors everywhere. We have games everywhere. Raffles. We have this year, Shields is one thing I need to make sure that I mention Shields, because they have really helped us donate to all of our causes we have a big Shields mega raffle with tons of prizes and stuff, tons of guns. We have a giant gun or firearm raffle and things like that. We have, we're giving away deer blinds. We're giving away helicopter hog hunts.
Wow.
You know, all kinds of big things. 2-person turkey hunt this year in Montana, the turkey hunt. So, and what's cool about that, the gentleman who owned the ranch in Montana flew in to experience it. You know,
awesome.
So they were like, yeah, we're in for the long haul. So yeah, it's gotten big, but it's, you know, we have free food. That's one of the things I've always been proud of. You know, we charge $25 a person to be a hunter back then, and it's still $25 a person.
Wow.
You know, we haven't changed that a bit. And most of the youth hunt for free because a lot of the sponsors want to pay for all the youth to hunt. So, and we don't charge for food or anything. So you walk in the door, you know, my model's always been like, just invite the public. And because the public needs to hear about what's going on. It's, you know, and then once they get in there, they realize it's more than a turkey hunt. But then we have, you know, through the years, we've made Friday night a lot of fun. And I'm talking, we have a big band, Lick Creek. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They're out Springfield, Jacksonville area. Yeah. They're a huge band and they bring a lot of people. And so Friday night, once they start at 8:00 or so, I mean, it's a packed house. And, but like I said, there was a time, I'll have to show you some pictures, but there was a time on Friday night this year when, I mean, Bates Building's a huge building. And I mean, it was wall to wall people. And then you looked out in the tent and it was the same. So like one whole end of the tent was all silent auction items. Yeah. You know, that you walk through and so Friday night is just all about, it's just fun. It's a good time. This year I did a firearm drawing every hour on the hour. I did another firearm drawing that really did well, a lot better than I thought. And what's even cooler is I offered up those guns to be sponsored. Everybody sponsored them, so it didn't cost us a dime. They were sponsored guns by so we did one every hour. Awesome. Do things like that, and then we make announcements. We draw for other things, and then like I said, the vendors we have. You know, the vendors we kind of try to keep it. Vendors that kind of has something a little bit to do with kind of the purpose of being there. You know, a lot of hunting type things or organizations that are, you know, that we're supporting, that kind of thing. But we have, you know, we have taxidermists there, and we have so the vendor thing's another cool thing. Trying to think what else, but then we also, you know, one whole wall is like our veterans. We have our veteran groups all there, and you know, they have, you know, this year we had quite a few of our special operations wounded warriors flew back in. I had one from Maryland, 2 from North Carolina, and 1 from Chicago coming. I mean, they come from all over because they want to experience it because when they're hunting, you know, in November, they're hearing about Squirrel Bowl, and Squirrel Bowl this year bought all their rifles for their hunt. Wow. For special operations wounded warriors. And so, they all come, they want to experience it and but so Friday night is just, it's open to the public, it's kid friendly, and then it does go late. I mean, you can come and go as you want, but it has a tendency to run late into the night, and then Saturday's the hunt, but it's also the ceremony. So if somebody was going to ask me which day they should go, I would always tell them Saturday. Okay. Because that's where you really truly get the message of what we're doing. Okay. Because we do a ceremony, and I can't even explain to you like the unbelievable things that's come out of that ceremony. I mean, a lot of tears. Okay. A lot of tears, a lot of unbelievable moments. So that hunt they hunt, lunch starts around 1 or so. They got to be back, or lunch starts about noon or so. They have to be back by 1 o'clock for the hunters do. Yep. For the weigh-in. And then around 2 o'clock, we start the ceremony. And I try to keep that ceremony about 3 hours, but this year it went 5, which is longer than what I wanted, but things just kept organically happening. Yeah. And it was pretty amazing. I mean, we have live auctions part of it too. And, you know, and live auction takes some time, but, you know, when we raise 60, 70 grand on a live auction, you know, I auctioned off a day to hang out with my dad and his buddy hunting or whatever, and it went for $6,000. I mean, you know, and I didn't even tell my dad that I was doing it. That's awesome. I just had them come up on stage, and they had no idea, and this group of veterans paid for that, so they're planning some fun day for $6,000. I mean, but the money just people they get in that giving mood, and next thing you know, you're raising an incredible amount of money. Yeah. Yeah. You can't beat that. No. And so in addition to live auction, it sounds like there's some, you know,
people up there maybe telling their story.
Yeah. So each year, Project Third Day will get up there and last year we did it as a video. I'm sorry, we did it as a video of actual kids narrating what Project Third Day's done that last year.
Oh wow!
And it wasn't a dry eye in the house. One of those deals. And then who all will come up and talk about their hunt, talk about their things, and then Sal and then all those organizations we have come up, and we usually have try to have a guest speaker or something like that. But yeah, so
man,
yeah. One for me personally, one of the most incredible moments this year was one of our special operations Winter Warriors, Bruno, came down because I invited him because one of his ranger brothers that was killed. We've gotten to be really close with this kid's mom, Vonda Rogers. Shout out Vonda. She's one of my favorite humans, but she comes every year. But what she didn't know is that he had told me a story about her son at the sow hunt, by the fire, and he was with them the night he was killed. And he gathered 2 of them were killed, and ironically they're from the same area, up by Bloomington area. 2 of the 2 rangers were killed, and he took 2 30 millimeter the spent shells, and he gave it to me that night because I knew Vonda, and he wanted their family to have one of them, and they gave one to the other family. Well, I knew I wanted it to go to Vonda, so he came down, got up on stage, told the story, and then Vonda came up and he presented this to her, because he took it that night in honor of her son.
Yeah.
And he never thought he'd be able to meet her.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So it was stories like that get you.
Yeah.
So when people ask Friday or Saturday's where you get just incredible things happen. So pretty awesome. And then we have live music on Saturday too. So, it starts, 5, 6 o'clock. We have live music. We have Macintosh. They're friends of ours. There's the husband-wife duo that go into the night. So it's another fun night. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
we're because we set up for this thing for weeks.
Right.
I mean, the Cottingham County Fair Board, I have to shout out to them. They opened up the doors to us when we started going there, and they let us run that thing how we want. They let us in there, weeks, sometimes a month in advance to start setting up things like that. And, it's a give and take, they do the bartending and all that kind of stuff, so that way we don't have to mess with any of that kind of stuff, so they get something out of it, and, we get the facilities. And then in return, Squirrel Bowl volunteers our time at the fair. So this year, if you haven't gotten your Aaron Lewis tickets yet, Aaron Lewis is coming, the Cottingham County Fair. We're excited about that. And Squirrel Bowl, my committee does all the bartending each year.
Awesome.
So we're looking forward to doing that for them, and then we'll do the gate one night. So they let us have their facilities, and we help them out during the fair. So it's a pretty good trade-off. But yeah, Saturday's cool. Saturday's it's just so special. It's, we have kids come up and we all give them, we had an Amish family show up this year from Morrison, Illinois, 4 hours away.
What?
It was a wife, kid, and 4 or 6 of their Amish kids. And after Squirrel Bowl, he got a hold of me. He had to go to some place to call me because, but he was touched by what we do for youth, and he's starting his own youth turkey hunt this spring. He wants to do it this spring. So I'm helping him. I talked to RTD calls, we're getting calls made for him, and Squirrel Bowl's going to pick up the tab on that, send them up to them. Talked to Shields today. Shields going to outfit them with backpacks and stuff. But yeah, so they're 12 Amish kids are going to go on a youth hunt. So
that's amazing.
All from just, they didn't know the reason they came down was they're the ones, that's the family that built the deer blind that we raffled off. But he's like, he wanted to know what it was all about, so they came from 4 hours away. Yeah, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's amazing how contagious that energy is.
It is, and that's. I heard Savannah say that same thing. Savannah Rudy on when she was here, and I'm very proud of the money we raised because I know what it goes to, but. To me, that's changed a lot for me personally, and it's like how many lives are changed by going to it. That's how I measure it. The things that I hear afterwards, like I had no idea. I want to do more. You know, you hear that a lot, and we just get these amazing like testimonials from people that's been there, and they're just like, this changed my life, you know, and you know, let alone what we're doing for the veterans and stuff, but just people going to the event because it's unique. I mean, I never dreamed it would come to this. It's kind of happened. I mean, I just feel like it was all God's plan this whole time, and because it doesn't make sense. I mean, it really doesn't make sense that a squirrel hunt would turn into something like this, but it has, and it's you know, I didn't know how long I was going to do it. Now I don't never want it to end. You know, I met too many incredible people.
Yeah,
very incredible people. So
yeah, it sounds like anybody that goes is going to be touched by this.
Oh yeah, it'd be hard not to.
And it sounds like
it'd be real hard not to.
Weekend before the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Carlinville is where it's at.
It is where it's at. Yep,
that's cool. Now with there are a lot of sponsors, and a lot of people, a lot of companies that contribute.
Yep.
How do they contribute?
Yep. So, as we get closer to Squirrel Bowl, my problem is I make all my committee nervous because I deer hunt so much.
Right.
And, you know, so during deer season when I should be like really planning getting everything going and having some meetings and stuff, I'm still chasing a buck usually.
Right.
But you know, around the end of deer season and stuff, or before that, it's in, you know, December or whatever, I'll start really gearing up, and then I'll launch the flyers and things like that. And then it used to be they would just mail us. I have sponsorship levels,
yeah,
and they would mail it, and each level comes with something like tables for the ceremony and swag and raffle, you know, big raffle bundles and things like that. But now they can do it online. So when I launch it for next year, which will still be in deer season, whatever, I'll have it all online. So you can still send checks if you wanted to, but you can just go online and pay for it right there.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's worked out great. We use this new website. It's called Octria to do all that online stuff. So and that's worked out great because we did four online raffles before the event, which raised an incredible amount of money, and yeah. So that works out pretty good.
Okay.
We've evolved.
All right. Yeah.
Us rednecks, we've evolved. We're getting fancy.
Technology.
That's right.
Yeah. In December, I had multiple people telling me, not now, I'm working on Squirrel Bowl.
Yeah.
From all over. And I love that. Everybody just seems real stoked to be in it, whether they're a vendor or, you know, participating from, you know, a volunteer, or whether it's the county board. It's different people out from Carlinville I talked to.
Oh yeah,
it was consuming them.
Yep, it's something. It's like I said this year in my post after the event. It's become a movement. I mean, there's lives changing there. I mean, I'm a perfect example. Is I surrendered my life to Christ last year after the event that night in the tent. So
amazing.
So this year it was different for me. And then this year I saw 3 other people do the same thing. I got to witness that out in the tent. So there's some really cool things going on there. And like I said, it's, you know, give all the glory to God, because I'm not this good. I'm not this good at planning things. I mean, how it's all coming together. But I have, you know, I say this all the time, but I have the most amazing group of people that I've surrounded myself with. And I didn't like handpick them. You know, it just happened. But my committee is made up of some of the best humans you've ever been around. And just this last weekend, we had our annual UTV ride on Saturday, and then the check presentation on Sunday. And I was around all those people all weekend long, and it's like you never want it to end. I love them all. I would shout out some of them, but I'd miss some, and I won't want to do that. But now it's grown. You know, it's grown to like 30 or 40 people on my committee now. So,
wow.
But it takes an army to do what we do. Yeah, it takes a lot of money too. So, but it's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. Yep.
You should be.
Yeah.
Let's take another break, hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Welcome back to the WJBM Outdoor Show, brought to you by Midwest Tractor Sales in Jerseyville. We're coming to you from the WJBM studios in Jerseyville, the voice of the Tri-Counties. I'm Aaron Quillen. I operate Monarch Rivers, where the mission is simple: kill big deer. For those just joining, head nut of the Squirrel Bowl, Jerod Cottingham. And we've been talking about what an amazing organization, an amazing event that from the Squirrel Bowl. Do you have an organization name, or you just call it the Squirrel Bowl?
It's Squirrel Bowl. I mean, yeah. So we're officially 501c3 now ourselves, so it's called Squirrel Bowl.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the mission. You talked a lot today about the mission. What is the mission statement?
It's kind of threefold. It's support local children in need, promote youth hunting, and support and honor our wounded veterans. So,
okay.
Yeah. Our illegal 501c3 is a lot longer. It's bigger now to allow us to expand. I mean, they all fall within those three categories, but it allows us to do more throughout the year. It's not just money that we. That's why we're able to keep some money back now, and so we can do things throughout the year.
Awesome.
We started a trap shoot too that we do in September. Things like that to try to raise more money and just to keep it going.
That's cool.
So we want to be able to help. I mean, needs arise as the years go on. You know, and I don't want to wait till just after Squirrel Bowl to help people. You know, I want to be able to help people throughout the year when needs arise that fall within our mission. So that's my whole goal.
Now, as far as kids are concerned, with third day, it sounds like they've grown exponentially.
Yeah, that's another huge success story. And Project Third Day, as I said, started in Carlinville, just 4 couples. What I love about that is it's still the same 4 couples.
Okay.
Started off just kind of feeding those 31 kids or so, and you know, each year that would go up some. But then what's happened is, with the support of Squirrel Bowl, they now have started chapters in a bunch of other school districts. Or I shouldn't say start. They helped these chapters get started.
Okay.
So, you know, they come to Squirrel Bowl and they're like, I want to do that in my community. So they'll talk to Tanya and Tanya's group, Project Third Day. They help them, give them the kind of the blueprint to get theirs started. And so we're now in like 6 grade schools in Alton. We're at Panhandle, out by the interstate, that direction. We're at Northwestern, Wildcat Way. Gillespie just started theirs. A gentleman that came up from Dry Bone Outdoors, he ended up providing 3 e-bikes he gave away.
Wow.
I met him just like one of those divine appointments, I guess. I met this guy, and he came up, donated these 3 things. Well, he's starting one down in Alabama. He's from Alabama. So,
no kidding.
Yeah. So it's in Morrisonville, and I know I'm forgetting some. If Tanya was here, she'd be able to tell you better. But so what we do is, what Project 30 does after they get the check from us, each year, which that's something we need to talk about, is just how we did this year.
Okay.
Keep cliffhanger, have everybody wait. But they then give them seed money each year, or they'll maybe give them the large check to get them started, and it's up to them to kind of grow their own, and they, they're kind of keeping Project Third Day name, but they can run it how they want, because it's not anymore. Now it's not just about feeding kids. I mean, Project Third Day, Carlinville, I know specifically has, they have bought washers and dryers. We bought all these like food, and they'll provide needs as they come. I mean, it's clothing, it's beds, it's bedding, and that's another thing too. Another group that we helped was called Sleep in Heavenly Peace, who's now in Carlinville building beds for kids in need. So they work in tandem with Project Third Day to identify these needs, and they're building beds like crazy. It's a group of young kids doing this, and it's pretty awesome. So they came up and talked about what they do too. So, but yeah, Project Third Day is grown with the support of Squirrel Bowl. They're able to do a lot. For the amount of money we give them, they're able to do a lot. That's more money they need for their just Carlinville. So they're spreading that money around to these local hubs, and each year like another one pops up, and that's beautiful to watch that happen. And now you get this guy come up and from Travis Smith from Dry Bone, that he lives in Alabama, and he wants to start one down there. So that's awesome. I mean, because you're helping kids, so.
Now, you had shared something, I don't know if you can say it on air, but it went from like reaching 31 kids up to
over 1,100 kids now.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we're 1,100 kids, and that goes up. Unfortunately, that goes up every year. I mean, it's unfortunate we have to help that many, but it's a need, and it's out there, and they're doing God's work. Project Third Day is. I mean, we put on a pretty cool event, but at the end of the day, we're nothing without them as is the ones who's getting our funding, and these other organizations too. But Project Third Day, just that they touch people's hearts and people want to help.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we've been on a cliffhanger.
That's right.
You guys
Yep.
just wrapped up.
Yep.
You did all
Yep.
your financials, counted all your beans.
Yep.
What are some of the highlights from this year's Squirrel Bowl?
Oh wow! I guess, like I said, I auctioned off my own dad. That was a thing. One thing that I'm super proud of is we do give away or we raffle off a ton of guns. Mm-hmm. Almost every gun that we raffled off, 30 or 40 guns, almost every one of them was sponsored by people who just wanted to help.
Okay.
So our biggest expense every year was buying all those firearms, and we didn't have that this year.
Yeah.
Because just the people that come there, I want to sponsor one, so, and these are, $300 guns all the way up to $1,500 guns, so it's just cool. So that went really well. That Friday night 5-gun raffle, you'd think I was giving away 10 guns an hour because everyone wanted in on it. That went crazy. So, with the giant tent, we've always had tents, but we went to 40 by 100, which is huge. That gave us the room to really grow our silent auction. Yeah, which that did really well. But the live auction did over $60,000. Wow. Yeah, and we it's only for like a dozen items. Okay. Yeah, it's not like we don't want it to go on too long. That's like a dozen items or so that we raised over $60,000. Wow. Just on that. Yeah. All right. And then what's the total nut? It is the Squirrel Bowl, so I could say, what's the total nut? Total nut, yeah. Yeah. One thing I failed to mention is we did about 2 weeks before Squirrel Bowl, from the money that was coming in, we reached $1 million from when we started. So we have before Squirrel Bowl even happened this year, we had officially raised $1 million. So we had a big banner thing, a big display. It was kind of cool. That's how we kicked off the event. Okay. So I'd announced that we made $1 million. So that's something that we're very proud of. So that's amazing. So that was kind of before the money from this year. So now we're well on our way to the other, to two. So I feel like only is by far our best year. So yeah. This year we raised $271,093. Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah, $271,000. That's amazing. Pretty incredible. So we just had our check presentation celebration on Sunday, and we were able to give a $100,000 check to Project Third Day, give a $50,000 check to who I'll give a $10,000 check plus a 56-foot camper that we got for a hell of a price, for housing the sow hunters. And then they're in turn going to let the turkey hunter veterans use it. And so it's just all, and then on down the line of all those other organizations we've helped out. So, and I always list that out each year, but I just might let them hear it on here first and then post about it. So, I like it. Yeah. I like it. All right. Yep. Okay, so as we're wrapping up here, what is the best way for someone to kind of get involved, whether it be participate, check, get more information on Squirrel Bowl, like website and the Facebook? Yep. How does that work? So we, like I mentioned earlier, we do have a private Facebook page that we've kept it private just DNR recommended that from the get-go, and that's never changed. But if you just do a search for Squirrel Bowl, I kind of vet you, and I'll let you in. But and then once you're in there, you'll see kind of everything we do. We post quite often on there, but also that Octria site. And I don't have that memorized off the top of my head, but that really will tell the details and stuff, of the event. As we get closer. So if you went there now, you would see last year's or this past year's stuff on there. But but if you have specific questions, like the Squirrel Bowl at gmail.com is an email address that goes to me. So that'd be a good way to get a hold of me. Or I could talk Squirrel Bowl all the time, so I don't mind being bothered with questions. So, but my advice is to just come to the event, just experience it, and then you'll get it. Okay. I can't tell you over this microphone what it's nothing like it. It's incredible. I don't know how it's happened, but it's happened. So that's amazing. Yeah, it truly is amazing. That's what it's all about. It is. I think that's what it means to live here in the middle of America. Absolutely. And the wounded veterans remind me of that. It makes them. I've heard that from almost everyone that's come back. Is like it reassures them that the sacrifices they made were worth something because we appreciate them so much, and that always makes me feel good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you for all that you do.
I'm gonna do it forever. I'm addicted. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Appreciate that. Though.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, telling us about it, and we look forward to next year's Squirrel Bowl.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again, maybe right before the event or something. And,
Let's do it.
And yeah, I can fill you in on what I have up my sleeve next year. So
okay,
yeah,
all right, that sounds great. Well, thanks, Jerod.
All right, thank you.